East Palestine. Keep the pressure on. And we saw a couple of new developments and new reports and updates that came out of East Palestine this week. So it starts out, Andrew Whelton and the Whelton Group. He is a professor at Purdue University. He has been amazing. And the folks at United for East Palestine, the mutual aid support group that started on Facebook, have been praising him and telling us about the work that he's been doing, and I've been following him ever since. Did the 7-hour drive from Purdue, from Indiana to East Palestine, and put in 7 hours of field work in day one. This is a thread reader thread so that it cuts out a lot of the noise on Twitter. But each one of these is a tweet in a thread. So first, Sulphur Run, where the chemicals first entered waterways from the Norfolk Southern disaster, is practically free of water in some places. Some places are flowing, others seemingly with stagnant pools. And sheen still exudes from the Sulphur Run banks in places where we visited. We did see free-floating sheen, not from us disturbing, after the confluence of Sulphur Run and Leslie Run. And there's a little video here. Hopefully you can hear that.
I don't, but that's okay.
Shoot. Well, it's just birds chirping, but I want to make sure you can hear sound anyway. But we saw water boatman insects moving through the sheen in some places, and maybe some spider-looking bugs too, but we did see some bugs in Sulphur Run where the water was flowing. And again, you can see the sheen here.
Yep.
Right.
Gotta go back.
There. And there's like one of the bugs floating. Sorbent booms sat on the basically dry Sulphur Run creek bed. It looks like the hay bale left in Sulphur Run culvert we've seen before is now gone. A lot of greenery has now grown along Sulphur Run, which is nice to see, because if the area were poisoned and toxic, you wouldn't be able to see any green growing, I believe, whatsoever. Correct, Reef?
Plants can grow out of concrete, bro.
But does that mean that it's...
They can grow in some pretty adverse conditions.
They celebrated Catterday.
Nice. The pity.
Hopefully people heard the truck noise, and that's good. Assange shares heartfelt messages to first responders who helped the community. In East Palestine Park, a lot of greenery has come in. It's also nice to see. I think they also might have planted some new stuff.
Yep.
The water levels, with less than 21 days of barely any, with around 21 days of barely any rain, have prompted lower flows in Leslie Run, which is on the left, and Sulphur Run, which is on the right. This is Leslie Run. And then this is Sulphur Run. Okay. So we're following what's going on here. Then near that location, we see air testing canisters just hanging out on a telephone pole. That's kind of interesting. We did see, as mentioned before, freely floating sheen in Leslie Run in East Palestine Park. Nothing like the amount we've seen previously. So it's moving. Where it's going, who knows? But along Leslie Run, south of East Palestine, we saw a lot of fish, frog, and insects. So that's good. So wildlife seems to be coming back to the area. Good to know. And we did see sheen when creek banks were physically disturbed in Leslie Run. Norfolk Southern plans to start cleaning Leslie Run next week. I wonder what that will do to the living things there. This should have been done already. IMO.
Yep.
Jesus.
More sheen.
More sheen. There's more. Tomorrow's another day. So here's day 2. Rendezvous with research teams, faculty and students from UT, University of Tennessee, and Inter Puerto Rico, and community resident to provide drinking water to sample private drinking water wells held from Tennessee and Puerto Rico. Amazing. So here's them taking sediment samples. He didn't fall in, thankfully. Epico pressure washing East Taggart right on the derailment site and Sulphur Run. So we've got.
I'm sure that's gonna be great for the water table.
Are they trying to get like chemicals off the street? Is that what's happening? Pressure washing?
Probably, or burn marks or whatever.
Found the Norfolk Southern Family Assistance Center. Been here 6 times and never seen this before. Not certain how I missed it. At Rebecca Place. Okay, that's cool. Flowers are blooming. Hey, how about that? Some homeowners bought in-house water treatment systems for their well water. Concerns about well water safety remain. No wells have been found to have disaster-related contamination so far. Let me repeat that. According to Professor Andrew Whelton, no wells have been found to have disaster-related contamination so far in East Palestine.
Seems off.
Wow.
Don't know how that's possible.
Yeah. Sulphur Run sometimes flows at 5 to 7 feet deep through town. Not today. Chemicals and contaminated water flowed directly underneath multiple buildings. And here's another 27-second video of it flowing.
With the lack of rainwater, and maybe just the water tables kind of hold up for a bit. You know?
Yeah.
So all that chemical is just sitting somewhere.
There's no wildlife sin in that thing. Sulphur Run also goes under several buildings upstream.
I see some.
Okay. Some parts of it are practically dry, even in parts of town. Right, but now the sound of rainfall in East Palestine.
Right, which that could cause some issues if it's, you know.
Yep. We saw 2 deer near the derailment site in the parking lot of ER Advanced Ceramics, Inc. And then we encountered a Norfolk Southern train. 132 cars going west to east through the center of East Palestine. 2 engines, second engine after 100 rail cars. It took 5 minutes and 30 seconds to pass. Only 38 seconds of the video shown here. That's a long time. I was just reading an article about how they just started slow-moving trains running through East Palestine again.
Yeah.
I mean, we can watch 38 seconds of a choo-choo. Happy Train Dance Day. That doesn't look like it's going all that slow, to be honest.
I mean,
we've seen how messed up some of that track is.
Yeah.
5.5 minutes for that train for only 132 cars. That's pretty slow.
Probably get noticed in town specifically, but
right. So here's day 3 out in the field. They cross paths again with their colleagues from friends in Tennessee and Puerto Rico, sampling wells. They made friend today near Leslie Run while measuring water depths. A happy leopard frog. I don't even see the thing there, but it's there somewhere.
They haven't asked if the frogs are gay yet. So obviously
they turned the frogs gay.
They're covering something up.
Alex Jones type of stuff right there. With the rain since yesterday and continuing rain, Sulphur Run is no longer dry.
No longer dry.
And Leslie Run is also flowing a lot. Yeah, that same boom, but now it's got water nearby. All right, and then you've got Leslie Run also flowing a lot more because of the rain. Right, we saw a variety of signs advertising for pressure washing since our February visit. We saw some building pressure washing taking place. We saw street pressure washing too. We do not endorse this company, just showing what we saw. And we're back at Purdue. Results, when available, of our scientific support efforts will be described here, as well as posted on our disaster response webpage. Gotta love this guy. After 4.5 months after the disaster, indoor air is still contaminated in some places. So exposures have continued for 4.5 months. 1.5 months ago, we visited and found this too. We asked US EPA to do something about it. They haven't yet. It's unclear why we have to be the ones advocating for protecting public safety, decon the buildings, conduct air testing, and then monitor. It's not hard. Why draw this out? Why allow exposures, which directly undercuts the message that recovery is happening? As we've found in other disasters, but more so here, disaster response decision-making when it comes to public safety and scientific support needs a complete overhaul. So today, if it can allow for harmful exposures and threaten public safety and business survival, that it can allow for that. So again, shout out to Andrew Whelton, Professor Andrew Whelton, doing God's work out there and really helping out the people of East Palestine. That's him. We got some other tweet threads from him in Thread Reader.